As it is written, the kingdom is within us. Come together and discuss the issues within the kingdom. Speak your peace. Speak the truth. For the kingdom is at hand. Kingdom Conversations.
Victory, you gon' lose without. Everybody be a lie, on the truth without. Everybody's just talked about. And the truth is freedom. Trying to work for the kingdom. All faith, no work is dead. So all work is faith instead. Do a shit for the kingdom. Can't wait till my kingdom. Everybody, we need some, yeah. For the work we did. You gotta work for it, go for it. The man I wear my shirt for. In the dirt, I'm going boast about him. They know me and I know about him. The whole way home, I'm screaming, shouting, praise the Lord, get you down, move them out. And I'm serving the King of Kings. That's the real victory, you gon' lose without him. They ain't gotta glow without him. They ain't gotta glow without him. They ain't gotta glow without him. You gotta work for it, go for it. The man I wear my shirt for. From the dirt, I'm going boast about him.
Yes, that's one of them right there. Yep, that's one of them right there. I tell you. What's good with it, fam? Peace and blessings to the whole house, the northern and the southern keeping. They call y'all the book people. I want to see t-shirts with that. We the book. Just like that. All praises to the Father. Father, we thank you for being so merciful and gracious to your people, the one that you call the chosen, the ones that was dispersed, went through all the different slave trades that we went through. That's been documented. Our plight has been documented from beginning to end, and it's all in the book. Every bit of it. My pop used to say, and Pop is my father, my earthly father, my dad. He would always say, son, everything you want to know is in the book. And I still carry that with me to this day. Even though he done crossed over, I carry that with me to this day. Peace and blessings to the whole house, northern and southern. Father, thank you once again for bringing the family together so that we can fellowship with each other and communicate and talk with each other about you, about your book, and about how we should be moving in this particular hour. Because according to what the prophets say, and I'm talking about the prophets from the book and the modern day prophets, books say we supposed to, and I preach this all the time, we supposed to become the head. And I believe what the book say. We ask the question, whose report are you going to believe? You going to believe the book and what the book say, or you going to believe the media? You going to believe white evangelicals, or you going to believe the foolishness that come out of their mouth, or you going to believe what the Father say? And I say we should believe it on what the Father say. Shalom to everybody in the chat. That song, oh my goodness. That's the lead off hitter today. That's a lead off hitter indeed. Yes, it was. And the sister Trust Cafe sent that to me. And if you guys have music that you want me to spin, I'll definitely spin it. Ibri, shalom to you, brother. I see you out there. That brother's been spinning good groovy tunes as well. But that song, 2 Timothy 2:15, King of Kings, I tell you what, if that individual does not have an agent, I'll quit my job and be an agent, because that's what you call the it factor right there. When you hear them songs and they move your soul. Yes, indeed. And that was one of those right there. That's one of those that you have to what they call, when we used to be on the hoop court, you run that back about 5 or 6 times in a row. It's so good. At least that. So we appreciate you, Trust Cafe, for sending that tune. It's a beautiful song, and I like to get more of that. That's just the song. That's just the bad right there. And again, we said it last time when we brought the old gospel. Can't nobody on the earth do it like Israel. I must say that nobody on the earth can do it like we do. Praise and worship, forget about it. You can't beat us doing it. And that's what we need to get. But now do praise and worship when you know the people of the book. It operates and works a little bit different. And I know we got a ton of praise music out there, praise and worship music out there, what we call truth music, right? Book people music, book music. I like saying that. You the people of the book. It's the book people. I love saying that. So peace and blessings to everyone. Hope you are well. You could have been anywhere. You could have been going camping. You could be watching the NBA right now, or you could be just watching television. You could be cooking. And I know it's evening time in most parts of the earth, or at least in these parts, because we in the United Snakes of America, KKK, America, KKK. You Israelites is good for coming up with these great memes. So again, I greet you all. Father, thank you once again. Thank you for bringing the people together so that we can talk amongst family. So family, we're going to talk amongst ourselves about part 2. And if you didn't see part 1 of the lesson that we built and put together, mind you, it's just really what we do here is we scratch the surface and allow you to dig deeper than where we go. And then once you've done dig deeper in the communication, you bring that back to the fam, and the fam, in whatever manner you want to bring it to the fam, you can do that. I do want to shout out a particular brother, Mr. Hebrew 1. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with him. Mr. Hebrew 1 has been putting down for a very, very long time. You can go to his website, mrhebrew1.com. But I'm going to shout out a different Israelite media every chance I get. I shout them out and lift them up, because that's what we do over here, and that's how we should be operating. It shouldn't be no Israelite doing drive-bys on Israelite. No, we should be lifting them up, no matter if we agree 100% with them or not. So today is Mr. Hebrew 1. For those of you who are familiar with him, that's good. If you're not familiar with him, go to www.mrhebrew1.com. He's got his own website, and the brother's been putting in the work for a long time. So peace and blessings to him and his family. So now I'm going to turn to the people in the chat, the people that know how to swing that sword. We got male swordsmen, but don't get it twisted. The sisters in here can swing that sword too. And if you come sideways, guess what? they're going to break your neck with that book, the men and the women. And that's what I love about Israel. Israel's not playing around. We're not playing church. We could have church here, but church is just another name for assembly that Christianity has co-opted for their wicked, evil, satanic religion. But we know that's the blockade. We're not going to stay on that for too long. But at the same time, the people in the chat, I say to y'all all the time, y'all know that book, y'all been reading this book. And so a heathen can't come to you bringing you no drag talking about it's about what they say or using the same rules. I'm white and I say so. No, we not listening to you. We not hearing you. We not forgiving you, nor are we praying for you. What we praying for is the restoration of the nation. That's what it is. So I'm going to start from the top and work down. I bid all of you shalom. Start from the top and work down like we always do. Kenneth Wilkerson, shalom, peace and blessings, brother. Hope you are well. Hope you have been well. Peace and blessings, shalom to Linda Ricks. Peace and blessings, shalom, Michelle Y. Peace and blessings to Darnell Blackshear. Darnell, man, you was late today, bro. We got 3 people that beat you to the punch, man. Come on, man. You sleeping on us? Come on, bro. You gotta stay on top of them, fam. And Johanna Coleman, shalom, peace and blessings to you, sis. Brother Hal, Brother Hal, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Hope you are well and hope you are doing well. And family, I want to say to this that please continue to pray for the whole house of Israel, the northern and southern kingdom, so that the Most High bring Israel, if they ever catch any of these things that's being released, because they didn't release more than one. They can't lie and say they come up with these crazy names, but they have released more than one, and it's for our people and try to destroy our people. So keep lifting the family up in prayer so that anyone that do catch any of these things, that these wicked entities, principalities and powers that them released on the earth, that the Most High bring us across on the other side, and that we still be here because we still got a lot of work to do. So Brother Hal, it's good seeing you, brother. Peace and blessings to you. Karina Brown, shalom, peace and blessings to you. James Philip Colley, James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of Hamashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings to you, brother. And I love that precept. To the northern and southern kingdom, peace and blessings to you. All praises to the Most High, our Father that created the construct, the one that said he appeared before Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the one that said he is the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So peace and blessings to you, brother. Katrina Brown, peace and blessings to you, sis. Trust Cafe, thanks a lot for that hit, and tell that sister that ooh-wee. That's all I can tell you. That's one of them. I got that on. That's in my rotation, but I'll put that on. We'll run that back again because she was talking about, hey, you know what? Your faith without works is dead. Huh? Somebody telling you faith without works is dead. They telling you from the book. They're not coming off their own mind. They could paraphrase. I'll paraphrase it for you without going to the precept. Faith without works is dead. Somebody coming to you with that, they coming out the book. And that's timely for this hour. Maria, shalom and blessings to you. Katrina Brown, I think we got you. Lynn Newman, peace and blessings to you. And if I pronounce your name wrong, please forgive me. AN, I believe this could be the individual that dropped that music. I'm not sure, but if it is, please put that information in the family, and then also drop a link to your site if you are that individual. But yeah, that song is straight. That's C4 right there. And if you don't know what C4 is or Semtex is, you go look it up. They tell you what C4 is in all the movies. It's explosives. Trina Brown, I think we hit you. Brother E, shalom, brother. How you doing? Hope all is well to you. I'll be dropping the link into the chat, and you can join in. Matter of fact, I'll do it right now. Brother, you can join in, hop in at any given moment you so desire. Trust and believe that. Let's see here. Brother Enoch, shalom, brother. Peace and blessings to you. Jason Camp, for peace and blessings to you, brother. Hope all is well with you, and hope the Most High, the Father of Israel, has been refreshing you, brother. Sarita Hebrew, sister, how you doing? Hope all is well. Hope you are feeling great and fantastic and wonderful and great. All praises to the Father. Nisi Lewis, shalom to you, sis. Hope you are well. Son of Yaakov, Shalom, brother. All praises to the Most High. Definitely all praises to the Most High. Thank you, Father. Thank you for your people that's lifting you up. That's another good thing, too. We always lifting up the Father in here. We lift up his Son, too. All praises. Devorah Cotton 21, Shalom to you. Peace and blessings. My good brother, Mr. Thorpe, Shalom and blessings to you, brother. Hope the Father has been keeping you and keeping you out of trouble, because Mr. Thorpe, you know you're not saved. Mr. Thorpe, you know you need Jesus. You need to go bow down before the cross and the zigzag man. They got the cross with the zigzag man hanging off of it. Mr. Thorpe, you need to go pray to that. Image of Shiloh, Shalom, peace and blessings to you. Uh, yeah, I'm doing a lot better. I still got a little bit of a cough, but it's getting better day by day. And again, I want to remind everyone again, pray for your family, pray for Israel, pray for your family. Keep your family covered so that they're not gonna get hit so hard with this thing and get removed off of the earth, because we're in a season of seeing the Father move, and He's moving mightily on our behalf. And because of that, I want all of Israel, just like the book said. I would that all of Israel would be saved. And whatever you take saved means, we know what saved is. It's not saved according to Christianity, but it's according to what the books say, right? Son of Yahuwah, Shalom, fam, Shalom, fam. It's good to see you. There's the link. I'm way behind, so y'all forgive me. Check this out. Drop the LinkedIn to your site. I was on your site and I didn't know. I was looking for the song I was looking for, and then I had to go back and look and see what the name of it was. And now I see how you have things named. But I'll tell you this right now, uh, Ayan, you on something else right now. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, they can't see you. Not on the mic, they can't see you. I'm telling you that right now. They can't touch you. No way above, inside, below, underneath the earth, and around the earth. They can't see you. Matter of fact, I have to be real with you. Nobody on the pop circuit can see you. Not with that. Not with King of Kings. Not even knowing what else you done did. So family, that looks like that we captured everybody. And if I didn't capture you, like my brother from WeWork now and the other brothers say, charge it to the game. No, they don't say that. They don't say charge it to the game. That's something else. Y'all know what that is. Hey, we ain't been saved our whole life, right? And we use it. We use these Christian colloquialisms just to be playing around, but in our reality, my brother's always saying, it's different brothers saying it now, charge it to my head and not my heart. So fam, we are going to get into this lesson and we're going to continue pick up where we left off. What we're going to do is we're going to just briefly run through where we left off and what we were discussing so that we can get everybody on the same page. And if you didn't look at part one to this, I recommend that you also look at part one, because it all goes together. And if you haven't been keeping up with the kingdom conversations, really, and we're going to move off of brick by brick building mode in a minute and shift to something else. But if you listen to all of the shows, there's a common theme and there's a common thread to all of them. And as bright and as brilliant as Israel is, it should be easy for you to pick up on what's going on, what's happening, and where we should be in this hour. And I keep saying, and I'm not going to stop saying it. Book says Israel. Go to Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy will tell you where Israel is supposed to be. Father, and one of my favorite verses, one of my favorite precepts, where he says, I will yet choose Israel. That's the Father saying that. He said, I will yet choose Israel. And that's a beautiful thing that he's still rocking with us in this hour, even though our ancestors went sideways. So what I'm gonna do, fam, is I'm gonna share my screen. And like I said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just quickly run through the stuff that we had covered in the last lesson, and then we're gonna move forward. And I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on the other stuff. I'm just gonna do a quick show of what we covered and basically where we're at. So let's see here. We started off 1 Corinthians 14:40. Let all things be done decently and in order, and that's from Apostle Paul. And I listen and rock with Paul. Paul does not contradict the book. We talked about Ecclesiastes 3. And we looked at the different things with time because this line backed on redeeming the time. So you can kind of connect the dots, as I said, as you go through these. We talked about faith. We looked at the definition of faith. We looked at different precepts on faith. And we talked about the benefits of faith. We looked at works, same definition, precepts on works. And then we also talked about and looked at the benefits of doing work. Then we got into faith and works, and we looked at precepts that contain both of those. And then we asked the question, what are the benefits of faith and works? Now what we're going to get into is information flow and exchange. And information flow and exchange really has to do with I'm not gonna put that up, Mr. Thorpe. You know I love you, bro. So we good over here. I'm good with you. So please forgive me if I don't read the chat because I have to focusing on the actual PowerPoint. So information flow and exchange. And so everything happens in the spirit realm first. It happens in the spirit realm first and foremost. And we're going to get a passage that supports that. We always got to go to the book. And you know, like what your big brother always says, if I say something, I should be able to find it in the book. And if I can't find it in the book, or if I'm freestyling, not if I'm paraphrasing or saying what the book says without giving you the precept or where it actually is. But if I'm just making up stuff and coming out the side of my neck, then it should be a situation where it's okay, show me that in the book, bro. And then if you can't show me that in the book, you should just call me a liar and tell me to get the H out of Dodge, right? So everything happens in the spirit. So we're going to look at Daniel 10, and we're going to go to a specific precept that actually proves what it is that we're saying. When the Father spoke, that was spirit, because words are alive, but words operate first in the spiritual realm, and then it manifests itself into the physical, right? And so this particular precept in Daniel, let me see if I can find it. Bear with me because my eyes are going sideways. Let's see here. Similitude is spoken. Okay, so here it is right here. So I'm going to start with verse 12. Then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy Father, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. So these words and this whole conversation, was this a physical conversation? No, because words operate in the spiritual realm. When you speak something, those frequencies are in the invisible. If you could put both your hands together and open up the spiritual realm, you would actually see those words and however they manifest themselves. I haven't seen them. We can hear them, but we can't see them, right? Now, here's the interesting part of this. Verse 13. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 1 in 20 days. So this brother was fighting. This brother was fighting with the Prince of Persia. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. So they was thrown down for 21 days, not in the physical realm. They was somewhere else, but they was fighting. So again, fam, that's an illustration of things happening in the spirit before they get to us in the physical. So I'm gonna minimize that for now, and then I'm gonna move on to the next part. So the information and flow and exchange. So how do we get information that comes to us? Sometimes they may be in dreams. Sometimes they may be in visions. Your thoughts is your mind is the battlefield, and that's where all of the battles take place is in your mind. So you see them through your thoughts. You may receive them through your eyes by watching people interact, or whatever mean and mechanism that you receive information, right? You could be watching two people do something, and then whatever they're doing could be some message to you to either do something. I'm using that as an example. So you could take in information through the senses that you have, and all of the senses. And I'm going to give you guys this one for free. Why do they hate our curly, kinky hair so? And I'm going to give you a pointer. Information is transferred through an energy is transferred through coils. Your hair on your head, as kinky as it is and as curly as it is, you take one of them nappy sections out and you pull them, and it's a coil. And so if you look up coils and energy transference, then this is a free one. You might learn something about our hair. And the question that I have is our hair's antennas to receive information? Just the thought. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but there's something peculiar about our hair. And why is it that it's so, especially the white ones are a trip. And I'm graying, and what's on my top is mostly gone, but that's a different conversation. But if you get one of those, and you'll see how thick they are, and they're really thick, and it's like, okay, this is not like everybody else's. These things are alive and they're springy. Nobody else has that. Pull out one of them nappy sections off your neck. I mean, I don't have many more because I don't hardly have any hair, but I'm just saying, for those of you who are blessed with that, then you can actually do that. So we're going to move on. So the information flow of exchange through the different mechanisms that the Father uses. Also, all of your senses: see, smell, touch, and taste, and hearing, and whatever mechanism he wants to use. He somewhere in the book he said, I'll make these stones praise me. Y'all get that precept and drop it in. I love it when y'all do that. Yeah, the stones be lifting them up, so he could do whatever he wants because it's his product. Okay, so when you receive that information, and I missed the spot here, that's actually your intellectual property. Doesn't belong to anybody else. That belongs to you. And when you guys hear me say, well, let's not me jump ahead. Let's go to the definition of intellectual property. And I'm going to grab that. Hopefully I did it right. Let's double click on that. And I'm not going to say what we always say, because you guys should know me by now that we're going to always look up definitions, so that we are not speaking out of our neck, but we're speaking from a place where it's been defined and we're using those definitions. So intellectual property, the noun is property such as an idea, invention, or process that derives from the work of the mind or intellect, right? So As an example, any song that you write is your intellectual property. Now, knowing that, when I say IP and I shorten it down, when I typically say IP, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your intellectual property, what's been given to you in your mind, right? So, and again, I'm not looking at the comments, but you guys are out of control. That's all I'll say. So, we looked at the definition of intellectual property, and I kind of went into what IP is. So, anytime you hear me say the phrase IP, that just is referring to intellectual property. Now, the question now becomes, whatever your thoughts, dreams, any of those things are the information exchange that you received. If it is something that is going to be of benefit to you, the question I have is, who should benefit from your IP? And I want everyone to do me a favor. If you believe that you should benefit from your IP, could you please put a 1 in the chat? If you should benefit from what's inside of your mind, please put a 1 up. Shalom, brother. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you are well. I saw. Like I said, I'm not looking at the chat, but it's good to see you, brother Yash. Peace and blessings to you. Shalom, and hope you are well. Hope all is well with you. And so, if you believe that you should be benefiting from your IP, put a 1 up. And again, your IP is your thoughts, dreams, visions, however information comes to you. It could be an idea. You're sitting up and you're thinking about whatever it is that you're thinking about, and you get a vision to do something. That should be, the benefits from that should somehow go to you, and it should go to me. If me and Jason Philip McCauley get off of here and we have a phone conversation, and then we'll include the brother Yash in there because he's good like that. So me, Yash, and Jason Philip McCauley get together and say, okay, we're going to attack and take over this particular industry, and this is how we're going to start off. But then we're going to do the ABCXYZ, right? Okay, so who should benefit from that? Should it be just your brother C? Or maybe it should be just Yash? Or maybe it should be Jason? I think all three of us should benefit from it, right? If we're operating in truth and being equitable amongst Israelites. So there should never be a case where, okay, Jason, Yash, and brother C came up with this brilliant idea, and as soon as they came up with it, some heathen came and took it. Does that sound familiar? So yes, for all of those that put a 1 up, yes, you should be benefiting from your IP. Now, I'm going to click on this because there's been plenty of instances where we've developed a lot and we've built a lot and we've innovated a lot for this nation. We haven't gotten the credit for it. Classic example is the movie The Matrix. The Matrix was written by a sister, and I don't know the full details, but The Matrix was written by a sister, and that's one of Hollywood's biggest box office things. I happen to like The Matrix because I actually believe that, to some similitude, we are actually in a that kind of deal, right? But once you become Israel and you know that you Israel, you take the blue pill. So If you want to take the blue pill, but then you say, no, I'm going back to Christianity, and you get back on that red pill and take your behind back to sleep, right? So let's take a look at, if you guys don't believe what I said, I'm going to click on the link, and I'm not going to read the whole article, but a sister did come with the Matrix. And so here's an article that I found. It's coming in quite large. Why is it coming in so big, bro? Hold on a second, fam. Let me get this dialed in. Why is it coming in so large? Uh, hmm. Let's see here. Yeah, that's really big. Let me figure this out, fam. Because like I said, I got an article on. Let's see here. Let me try this right here. Bear with me for a minute. Let's copy that. And then let's drop it here. Okay, let's see if that does us a good deal. Now it's still doing the same thing. That's weird. So if I go smaller, okay, we'll get it figured out. Let's see here. So I'm gonna kill that. Actually, no, I'm just gonna minimize it. Let me just minimize that. Okay, so here's the article, and it says Black author. Can you guys see the screen first of all? I'll put one up if you could see the screen. If I haven't jacked that up, hopefully I haven't. Let me go back to the yard to make sure that I haven't messed that up. Let's see here. There we go. So can you guys see the article on the screen? Put a one up if you can, and then I'll keep going. On. Let me get to the yard. Actually, let me move that back down here. Perfect. So you guys can see it. Great. So, and if you think I was just making something up, Black author wins copyright case for Matrix movie. This little known story has met a just conclusion as Sophia Stewart, that's the sister's name, and she came through the killing fields of slavery just like we did and our forefathers. Ancestors of the Matrix will finally receive her just due for the copyright infringement of her original work. So she had went through 6 years and went through all of this FBI investigation. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I believe it's a video, or it was a video. But this is a classic example of someone getting a hold of one of our IPs and just taking it and running amok with it. Now, we know that during slavery, during Jim Crow, Reconstruction, even during the time where our cities were popping, what they would do is they would steal all of that stuff. They would steal everything because we couldn't even own patents at that time. From what I understand, we couldn't have patents. So they put their name on the patents and got all of the accoutrements and everything else from that, all of the benefits. So when we talk about benefit, who should benefit from your IP? It should be you and those you deem who you want to benefit from it, and not somebody just stealing it. See, this nation has a propensity of doing like their father says, and that's kill, steal, and destroy. That's something else right there. That's what they do. So I'm going to keep it moving. Okay, so I said not the heathen here. So, and the reason why I said that is because there's been an underlying code that most of us have been unaware of, that the heathens are aware of, and they've been operating. Question, and this is a question to the family. Family, if you've been working on the good ship, work for somebody else, and a heathen or someone comes to you and says, hey, we want you to train Timmy, Maria, and Peter to do the things that you know how to do because you do it so great. Put a 1 up if that has ever happened to you. Has anyone ever come to you and told you to train someone else to do the things that you know how to do? And I'm going to put a 1 up for myself, because everywhere I go, I get treated that way, in terms of, yeah, you're what you're doing is, yeah, you want to peel my intellectual property, but they're not saying it as that. But put a 1 up if you've ever been approached to train someone or to do right by these other entities. It could be Pete, it could be Maria, it could be Tom, it could be Hank, it could be Karen, it could be any one of those. And there's a reason why I say not the heathen. So I see all these ones, so that means that I'm in the right house. Why do I say that? Because I know that everybody in this chat is brilliant. I know that. Brilliant have great IPs inside of them, great information inside of them, love the Father, love his Son, love the Spirit, love Israel. I could say that about everybody in the chat. Yeah, that's right, Bob. That's right, Yash. Bob. Yeah, go. Yash, you train Bob. Yash, you put Bob on, and then Bob became your boss, huh, Yash? Has that ever happened to anyone? Okay, so fam, I found, and there's a book, and I'm not sure if the book contains what I found, but I found something that was passed along to me from a source. I'll say that. I'm not going to get into what the source was, but found this little bit of information, and it's called the 11 Laws of White Supremacy, right? So we're going to read them. And right now, the rule of white supremacy is going down, which means that the rightful rulers of the earth should be rising. Should be. And we are. The dry bones are coming together, standing up. Now the dry bones stand up as a complete skeleton. Now the muscles are starting to go on, right? So I'm going to read these to you, fam, and hopefully you can see them. These are 11 laws of white supremacy. I believe I saw a book with this out there, and the book is like $250. But anyway, I'm going to read the 11 laws and tell me if you've seen these before in your life. Number 1, never let the blacks know what whites are thinking. Intentionally mislead them if you must. Number 2, always try to figure out what blacks are thinking and try to find a way to disrupt them or capitalize on their genius. So they don't want you getting their intellectual property, but they always want to get yours. But notice the last part is capitalize on their genius. So they want you to train them and raise them up and give them all the good game and wisdom that you got, because when Israel's on the job, contrary to popular belief, Israel's always the baddest one in the office. It never fails. It never, ever fails. If Israel is working in an office or anywhere, it doesn't have to be an office, right? Doesn't have to be that. Wherever Israel is working, you're going to see some of the most greatest innovation for that company, bar none. No matter where we get down, it doesn't matter. My sultry sounds. I see you, sis. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing well, and peace and blessings to you. So I'm going to keep reading. So they want to get your IPs. Always appear to be friendly or humanitarian to blacks. That sounds like the Democrats. Act as if you don't know you are a part of the ruling race. Number 4, look for blacks you can use to further the white cause. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, here's a great one right here. This is one of my favorites. Use religion to gain the confidence of blacks. So, use religion to gain the confidence of blacks. Wow. So, in other words, come at Tim or Bob. I'm gonna use Yash as Bob. So Bob comes at Yash talking about, oh yeah, I'm a good Christian, this, that, and the third. Yash will probably look at him and be like, man, you need to get the hell away from me with that Christian stuff because we don't do Christianity over here. Or Yash might play it different. He might be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove and say, okay, let me listen to what this crackpot has to say, right? Let me take it in. Number 5, they should say, let's use the broad gate because we believe that these so-called African Americans are beasts. So because we believe they're beasts, let's use the slave Bible that we gave to them that had 10 precepts in it. And all of them was to worship him and point to him and lift him up. But let's use that. And we'll use Christianity to gain their confidence. So if they coming at you with Christianity, it's a ploy. Number 6, because that's the broad gate, we know that. No matter what blacks say, keep your dignity. Never forget that you belong to the white race that rules, but never profess it. That sounds like the Democrats still. You could actually determine some of these is for the Democrats and some of these is for the wicked Republicans, but they both wicked, and we know that. So don't stoop to their level. They out of control with this. Number 7, never invite blacks into your home unless absolutely necessary. Always try to gain entry into black homes to assess what kind of people they are. So again, what did we look at in the show that Kadar and myself did a couple of days ago, where they are studying you, they are watching you, they are taking notes on you. And one of the main reasons is because they see a peculiar people when they see you. And they are astounded by it. They're astounded that you can handle yourself professionally. And that when you start speaking, it blows their mind. Because they've been watching TV and watching the movies, and that's what they believe. But I can tell you that the people in this chat room are some of the most brilliant people on the earth. I'm not going to call the brother's name, but matter of fact, I am going to call the brother's name, Brother Hal. Brother Hal gave some intel that just showed me Brother Hal's overall professionalism and how he carries himself. The information that he provided, that's going to be on this lesson that totally deconstructs everything with Christianity. Brother Hal put it down, point blank, period. But what I saw in that is I saw my brother Hal's professionalism, the effort that he put in, how he put it down. And so I could say that with certainty that the people who are in this chat right now and the people that rock with us, y'all some of the most brilliant people on the earth. And I know y'all have some bomb IPs. I know you do. I know, I can tell. I can feel it in my spirit. I know it. So, but I'm going to keep moving. I'm not going to stay there. Let's go to number 8. If you can, during verbal altercations with black leaders, try to provoke emotion or use word trickery to make them look less credible. Now, let's take that and put that on the Israelites, because the Israelites, and that's you book people. Brother Hal, you're welcome, man. Matter of fact, I thank you because Brother, that was, I tell you what, Israel sharp, and I'm going to leave that alone. If you can, during verbal altercations with black leaders, try to provoke them. In other words, be emotional. They want you to be emotional. They want us to fly off the handle. They want us to jump out the window instead of being strategic. I'm going to say this precept to you again, and I want you to look at this precept differently. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Now, most of us will pick up the harmless as a dove part, but I want you to pick up the be wise as a serpent part. Because if you're wise as a serpent, you know how to move and groove without giving these people anything that they're looking for, and doing it with a smile, because you're not getting emotional, because you're not getting tricked with words or anything goofy like that. No, we've grown and we've matured that every time we hear certain things, we're not going to jump out the window. And if you see my debate pattern, I don't have a debate pattern, because every time I see somebody say something which goes back to the code that Israel needs to be operating under, I don't jump out the window. What I'll do is I'll look at it and process it, stew over it for a little bit. So the great thing about number 8 is that the trickery that they use, and to make us look less credible, an example of that would be, I'm going to use Nick Cannon as an example. Peace and blessings to him and his family. When Nick Cannon came out talking about we was Israel, and then he got attacked by the fuse, and then he backtracked. And that's one thing I pray that the Father gives us, like what Dave Chappelle did. No backtrack. If we say it, we stand on it. They lose respect for you when you say something and then you backtrack. The fuse have no control over me. I'm not anybody in terms of at Nick Cannon's level or anything like that. But I don't have a filter, nor do they control me. And there's a lot of Israelites that operate like that, because they're not driven by money, nor did they get their money from the fuse or this construct. More than likely, they used the greatness that the Father gave them, and they built their own IPs. Yeah, brother Yash, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Look who showed up to the party. Look at this here, Johnny Come Lately. Come on, Johnny Come Lately. What's good, brother? Hope you're well, Big Red. Hope all is well with you, brother. Good seeing you. It's always good to see you. Always. They bug broke him. Khan, they sure did. They told that brother up. Told that brother new one. He chose money over y'all. Can't serve two masters. Khan. See, this is why I rock with Israel, because Israel gonna hit you with them precepts and they gonna sell you why. And I said this in the last video. I'll say it again. You could have be giving out information on baking, or you can be talking about how to take vitamins or whatever. But guess who's gonna be in the comments section? Which is why I love reading the minds of men and women. In the comments section, you're gonna have Israel dropping them precepts, and they're gonna be putting it down. That's why I love my people so. So trickery, no, we're not falling for that at all. Number 9. Always try to get blacks fighting with each other. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this here. Always try to get blacks fighting with each other. Once they start, it is difficult to get them to stop. They have a most unique fondness for destroying one another that supersedes all other interests once it gets started. Always try to get blacks fighting with each other. Now, you heard your big bro say, there's no way in, below, above, inside the earth, underneath the earth, Abraham's bosom, outer space, Mars, if you believe in the dome, outside the dome, on the sun, on the moon. Jupiter, Elysium, whatever you can imagine. I'm not ever going to say, demean, or put down another brother in front of the heathen and their media mechanism. And I'll say what I said the other day as an example. If someone comes to me and says, hey, you know what? Big Red believes this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. He's on this, that, and the third, and this is what he is, and he's no good, blah, 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 blah. Mind you, they got the mic in front of my face and they talking about Big Red. My response would be, hey, you know what? Big Red's my brother and I love him. Next question. Okay, well, Yash said this about you and this blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Brother Yash was saying this, that, and the third, and you should blah, 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 blah. Well, first of all, Brother Yash is my brother and I love him. And that's all it is. Next question. See, we got to get out of the mindset of battling in front of our enemy. The biggest travesty right now is not the cabal of the atheist, the Catholic, the Christian, the used to be Israelite, and a preterist. That cabal is not the biggest danger to us because they're directly fighting against the Father. The biggest crime is Israelite on Israelite crime. When Israelites pick, nag, and openly war with other Israelites. Now, what I am saying is this. If someone comes out, whether it be YouTube, whether it be wherever, and they're coming at you, then you have a right to do that. But the start of it is what I'm addressing. I'm not addressing once somebody responds, if they want to respond, that's their prerogative. But it should have never gotten to that. Book says if you have an ought with your brother, you should be going to them. And then y'all should be hashing it out. If you can't hash it out, bring some witnesses. If you can't hash it out after that, go to council and get it solved. But I'm not going to do that in front of the media. I'm not going to do that in front of the camera openly. Why? Because I don't want to give the enemy ammo. I don't. We need to be getting on code, folks. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. That's a powerful precept right there. You operating like a snake. But you harmless. You moving different. You wise. Who was wise? The Egyptian says, come, let us deal wisely with them. They was plotting. They were straight plotting. Now, let's look at this comment right here. I'm put some. I'm not watching the chat, fam, so y'all need to forgive me. But take a look at that. Nor in front of Esau, nor in front of none of the Psalms 83 or none of them. Look at what they're saying. Once they start, it is difficult to get them to stop. In other words, brother step on your shoes. It's like, okay, you ready to blow his brains out or beat him down. And then if somebody else did it, they may get a pass. And so that goes back to loving your family, loving your people. It's okay for you to speak first. You see a brother walking down the street, it's okay for you to, give him a heads up, give him a nod, throw up the peace sign, do it all the time. I like to be the one doing it first. And what that is, that's an icebreaker for Israel, right? I'm not looking at brother gonna take me off. No, that's my brother right there. So yeah, I'm gonna acknowledge him. I'm gonna acknowledge him first. But you can't stop. They have a most unique fondness for destroying one another that supersedes all other interests once it gets started. So again, controlling your emotions, and like the book says, bringing every thought under subjection. So we need to get a habit of loving Israel and loving each other. We do. Bottom line. And this is, wow. Prior to Judah, shalom to you. Check this out. You can't love your people when you hate the man in the mirror. Well, I agree with that. I say con to that. That's absolutely correct. Israel, and I say this all the time, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror to see how great you are. I'm going to say this because this is what I believe, right? You don't have to believe it, but there's enough greatness and enough IPs and enough wisdom and knowledge just in this chat alone to turn the whole world upside down. When I look in the mirror, I see greatness. When I see my people, I see greatness. I see nothing but greatness in the chat. Nothing but. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna see that, and that's gonna come out when it comes out. But this is absolutely correct. So let's move on. I really didn't want to spend too much time on these, but it's just working out like that. Number 10, if you are able to provide some material support to blacks or organizations, this is certain to triple the awe and reverence they naturally have for whites, and you will be able to use them like chess. Fam, you guys, I didn't write none of this, fam. Are you guys reading this? This is a testament to Israel from your enemy. If you are able to provide some material support to blacks or their organizations, NAACP, Boule, Talented 10th, the Black Caucus, former presidents, senators, people in politics, give them a little bit of money, and then they lose their rabbit mind. Just give them a little bit, and then you can play them like chess, because whoever gives you the money, you're beholden to them, and you have to answer to them. Israel shouldn't have to answer to nobody. We got enough game in this chat where we shouldn't be answering to no one. Right now, I should have a job with an Israelite Corp, whether it be here or whether it be in the wilderness. Play them like chess. Well, the father's playing 12D chess. So they were immediately saying they playing 1D chess. Israel hating Israel, you playing tic-tac-toe. Israel doing the bidding of their masters, Boule, Talented 10th, Jack and Jill, Black Caucus, politics, politicians. When you gonna cut our check? I don't want to hear nothing about it unless you talking about you want us to vote, then cut them checks. Cut them checks. BLM, yep. Thank you, Maria. BLM. Yep. We called them out. All the ones I know I'm definitely gonna call out. I'm sure we'll call them out. Because here's the thing. I'm not beholden to anyone but the Father. Because no one's giving me a bag. And nor am I asking anybody for a bag, because you know why? If I need a bag, guess what I should do? I should go create my own bag. I got enough IPs in my mind to create my own bag. I got a family here with enough IPs to take over whatever we want to take of right here in the chat. So why do I have to go after a bag, some heathen giving me a bag? Seriously. Athletes, that's right. That's right, Yash. Bring it out. Bring it out. Athletes, Oprah Winfrey, She'd go over there and build a school in India and won't do boo. I don't know if she's doing boo for us. So they playing 1D chess, and Israel's getting better though. I will say this. And we are proof. We are. As a family, we're proof that Israel's getting better. We are. This awakening is awesome. If I didn't say shalom to you, brother, shalom to you. Peace and blessings. It's good to see you here. Good to see you. Number 11. Oh, that's the rest of it. Sorry. Let's see. Be able to play them like chess pieces, even against each other, to fulfill the white agenda. So anytime you have someone egging on fighting between Israel, and it could be Israel, it could be, like, for instance, I'm gonna name this devil, and I typically don't name demons, but I'm gonna name this particular demon Vocab Malone. And I don't like him at all, but I'm naming him for a reason. Vocab Malone is exactly this, because he uses Israelites and other people that call themselves Christians that went through the same thing that we went through, and our so-called African Americans, and he pits them against each other while he sits back and laughs, knowing that he's a 1948 person. John Mark Reiser, you fake few. Yep, that's what he is. Anyway, yeah, the boule, yeah, the boule is the gatekeepers, and their motto is they're beholden to the king. But which king? They're not beholden to the Father. Okay, so the last one, and then we're gonna move off of this. Never reveal the white code to blacks. Without knowledge of this code, they will never see whites as a unified group of exploiters, but will assume that whites are divided by petty differences as they are. One petty difference is a Republican and Democrat thing. Another petty difference is the Northerners and the Southerners. That whole lie. You saw that play out during the Civil War. Civil War showed our people in utter peril. The South was going hog wild, killing us. We run to the North. The North was wicked as hell. So what could we do? It is an absolute miracle. If you start studying the history of what happened to our people since we've been in the snakes, it's an act of the Father that we're still here, folks. This is his plan, because quite frankly, we shouldn't even be here, especially in the snakes. There's no way. He had to have his hand on us, otherwise we would have been destroyed. They threw everything, the Father threw everything at us here in the snakes. Everything, and the kitchen sink, the faucet, the kitchen counters, the refrigerator, everything. The whole kitchen. The whole house got through at us, actually, when you think about it. Okay, so I'm going to move off of this. So, fam, that's the 11 laws. We got it. We've got it as a testimony against them live on this video. So you can go back and play it back if you need it. And then also, for those of you that want to get this PDF, and again, there's a book out there with this on it, send an email to, I'll throw the ticker up right quick. Send the email to saltoftheearth144@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to send it to you. But we have it memorialized on video, but these are things that we need to remember, because they've been operating, and have had us in derision all of this time. They know about this code. They do. Doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, if you rock with Bernie Sanders, he's 1948. But it doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because none of these entities have been for our turn. None of these entities have been for Israel. Why are we still talking about them cutting our check? That shouldn't even be a conversation. If this was an equitable nation, we shouldn't have to even be asking that question. That should never even be a question. So we covered not the heathen, and we talked about information exchange. Let's move forward. Okay, so let's talk about planning for a second. And am I going to take a break or am I going to keep going? I'm going to take a break for a minute, just to get refreshed. And I want to get through this whole thing. So let me put on some groovy tunes, and then what we'll do is we'll break for a little bit, and then I'll come right back and we'll get back with the get back. Let me find my music. I probably killed it knowing me. Let's see here. It's not there. No, that's not it. Yeah, there it is. It's right there. Okay. Luckily found it. Look, check me out. Getting lucky. So we're going to listen to some music for a little bit, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to continue with plan. Okay, fam, I'm back in the building. We're gonna leave the groovy tunes on though, if that's okay with y'all. I hope that doesn't bother you too much. And so I'm gonna get back into it. Before I get back into it, I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat room for showing up and showing out as you guys always do. I'm not watching the chat because I'm focused on the lesson, but I must say that you guys have some bomb comments, and what I typically do is I go back and read through them, and I'll be cracking up because none of y'all in the chat is saved. It's already established that none of y'all saved, and all of y'all need Jesus. So before I go any further, y'all need to get saved. Get saved. Get saved. That's all I can tell you. So now let's read this comment. This is okay. So Mary, I went and got my favorite precept that I'm always calling. 14:1. For the Father will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. All praise to the Father for that precept. Father, we thank you. So here's the thing. When we talk about faith, book talks about having faith of a mustard seed. But check this out. The mustard seed has to go on the belief that the Father going to do what he said he was going to do. We have the book telling us what the Father said he was going to do. We have the written word from the Father that was written a long time ago, and the more sure word is being fulfilled as we speak. Yes, it is. More sure word is speaking right now. Yeah, that was nice. Smitty, how you doing, brother? If I didn't shout you out the last time because you was in the chat on the last show acting a gump, Smitty, and I'm gonna tell the Catholics to pour some holy water on you so you can get saved, because you know the Catholics is part of Christianity, and that's the only way that you can come to the Father is you go through the Catholics and go through their system, right? Smitty, good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. So, fam, here's what we're going to do, and hopefully we get through this lesson. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about plan. And let me turn this banner off because it's a little bit of a distraction. So let's get back into it. Plan. So let's look at the definition like we always do. We always have to do that. So I'm going to grab it as soon as it comes up. And of course, it's 1,000 times too big what it should be. So we'll just reduce it down. Okay, hopefully that comes in good for the fam. So, plan. A drawing or diagram plan or a plan such as, okay, so that's if you're doing something. Here's the one we want right here. Number 2A, a method for achieving an end. B, an often customary method of doing something, a procedure. C, a detailed formulation of a program of action. D, goal or aim. So now we have a good understanding of what plan is. And fam, I'm not doing this because I don't believe that you guys understand what these words mean. I'm doing it so that we can have a solid frame of reference to as it pertains to us and as it pertains to the book. Because like I said, and like I believe we have some of the most brilliant minds in Israel, and I believe we have some of the most brilliant minds on the earth, and I believe in this chat we have some brilliant minds. Go back and listen to me talk about our people that's in the chat and how great I believe that they are, and how we are all together going to see the greatness. We are. I believe that with all my spirit. We're going to see the greatness. And then we're going to look back on this whole kingdom conversation stuff. Man, Brother Cleo was worrying us to death with all of this, but guess what? We built something. Something came out of it. Yes, heathens and those that are listening, that's not of our people. Yes, we're going to be ultimately building things. Yes, we are. So anyway, let's look at some precepts on planning. We always have to do that. So let me go ahead and click on that. Make sure I get that going. Okay, let me see. We're going to go to Numbers 13, and we're going to look at what the Father was telling Moses and talking to him in their conversations, right? Okay, so this is the Father planning with Moses, telling what he wanted Moses to do. And I'm going to read it. This is Book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 1. And the Father spoke unto Moses, saying, Send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. Verse 3, and Moses by the commandment of the Father sent them from the wilderness of Paran, and all those men were heads of the children of Israel. So they operate in the plan. And now this goes into, I'm not going to read all of these, but this goes into how many came out of each tribe. Of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori. And so this goes into that detail. So they planned, the Father gave them a plan, and he sent them out, right? And these are where they came from in the different tribes and whatnot. I'm not reading that because that's important. But the important part was the planning part. So now let's look at this. Verse 16, these are the names of the men which Moses sent. What did Moses send them out to do? Based on the plan of the Father, he sent them out to spy out the land. And Moses called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Jehoshua. Verse 17, and Moses sent them out to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get ye up this way southward, and go up into the mountain. They planned and plotted, and now they are planning and doing according to what the plan is. So this is the plan. The plan is to go spy out the land and do verse 18, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many. So they planning right now. What are they planning on doing? And what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that they dwell in, whether in tents or in strongholds. And what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood thereon or not. So they planning, and they need to, as they're planning, they need to get the report, and they need to come back to the report and bring that report back to Moses so that they can further plan on how to attack these people and take over this land. That's what it's all about. So this is a great example, one of many, another good example of planning, and not only planning, but actually I don't want to give that away, so I'm not going to get too much into that. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron after they returned from searching. Let me read this one. And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days. So they was out there gathering intel for the plan for Moses and Aaron. 40 days. Imagine that. Imagine the Father giving you an IP, and for the next 40 days, that's all you focused on. That's your task. Father, as an example, the Father gave me an idea to sell or as a product or service, four-wheel bicycles, hypothetically speaking, not even real. Four-cycle bicycles that are driven by solar power, right? And the battery life and the solar power is endless, right? So he's giving me that IP, and then I spend the next 40 days just planning. And that's all I'm doing. Now, with what we learned about the information exchange, and if I'm planning appropriately, then that information exchange is going to be awesome. So, and they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. So I'm not going to continue reading the story. I'm just using that as an example of planning. And there's a ton of different stories and precepts in the Bible that speak to planning. And that speak to not only that, but the last part of the conversation that we're going to have. So when we're planning, what should be our MO? Now, I'm not saying that this is the only way to do things. I'm just saying that this is my methodology, right? And whatever methodology or whatever the Father gives you on how to operate and plan, then you do what he's given you. This is just my way of doing things. So first of all, first and foremost, seek the Father's face. Because when you're receiving, we talked about receiving information and information flow. When you're receiving information, you're not only receiving information from good sources, you're also receiving thoughts and information from the left-hand side as well. So we have to be able to navigate and understand that if we do get an IP or whatever a thought is, that we talk to the Father about it, and that we seek his face about it. That should be the first thing that we do, right? And then you get it when, as you're doing that, you get into the next comment about what is his will for you. And that's what you should be asking, having that conversation with the Father. Father, is this your will? Is this your will for me in my life to do this? And if so, then let's go to this passage in this precept, and let's see what this is talking about. Because if you're seeking to do the Father's will, and that's your conversation with him, he's going to fully furnish you. He is going to fully furnish you. Hebrews 13:21. Make ye perfect in every good work to do his will, working in you that which is well pleasing in his sight, working within you. First of all, let's go back. Make ye perfect in every good work to do his will. So that should be the first thing that we're striving to. No matter what he's given us, it's for his will. First and foremost. That's why you seek him first and ask him, talk to him about it. And you don't have to do the these and the thous. You talking to him just like you talk to your big bro. Working in you that which is well pleasing in his sight, through Mashiach, to whom be glory forever and ever. Working in you. So the works that's in you, and he's working in you. He's working inside of you. That which is well pleasing in his sight, right? Through Mashiach. So we got to be seeking the Father first and foremost, folks, because if we not, then we're actually doing ourselves a disservice, and we could may or may not be getting our intel from the Father. Could be one of these other sources, right? Because if we could see the ethereal, what we call the spiritual realm, all the things that are happening around us, all the things that are going on, a lot of us will be scared. A lot of us will be inquisitive. A lot of us will be like, man, it's cool here. This is like being on the blue pill. Why should I go back on the red pill when I'm seeing all this stuff happening in the spirit? Let's move on. Okay, so now here's an important one. This is very important. And I can't stress this enough. After you've determined that the IP is of the Father and you're doing his will, and he's shown you that, do not try to build anything by yourself. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. And I'm going to click on this, and it's going to take me to a precept, and we're going to look at this precept. Now, when one person, you can't do everything by yourself. One person cannot. Now, if it's a solo dolo, then yes. But even work that I'm doing, or works that I'm doing, and I'm using myself as an example, I have a council that I go to. A council of 2 people that I trust, and that I can go and bounce not only ideas off of, but bounce things off of them to make sure that it's sound, right? And they may or may not be business partners. They may be just, a person that is have the same culture and heritage that I have. So if you try to do something by yourself, with one person, okay, you can achieve some things, but you should be attacking, especially if you're talking about taking over something. I say this all the time, and I'm not saying it in jest. I'm saying this in reality. And here's why I say you should be operating with people, specific people, and we'll get into who they should be and who they shouldn't be. But Matthew 18:20, verse 20 reads, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them." And so I'm going to use my own personal life as an example. If I'm trying to build an IP and I'm working with another person, the information exchange, and this is all a part of that being fully furnished, where you get a lot of the details and a lot of the information, that information flows like crazy when you're building ideas with someone else and you're bouncing them off with someone else. 3 people, the same thing, right? This has been proven in my own life, which is why I can speak to it. Father says he will fully furnish you. And he also says he'll give you the desires of your heart. That what he put within you to do. I know for a fact when you're coming together to do the Father's will, that information exchange every time, and then the information is so powerful. You have to take care of it, and we'll get into how you take care of it. So I'm going to move off of that. But fam, if you're talking about building something, please do not try to do it by yourself, right? And then if you need to, you should be linking up with other Israelites to do that. Now, since I said don't do it by yourself, who should you be building with? That's a good question. Who should I build with, right? You should build with someone that has a like mind. And that doesn't necessarily have to be your mom, your father, your cousin, the dude around the corner, the barber. That's going to be something that the Father will help you out with, and he'll put that person in your life. But it can't be someone that is going to be a Debbie Downer, or someone that's operating on a lower frequency than what you are when it comes to a particular IP that you might have. What you want to do is you want to get someone that has a like mind, maybe someone that has a similar idea, or maybe the same vision that the Father's given to y'all, the same vision, and y'all two go rock out. Point blank. So it has to be somebody that has a like mind, and the Father will put that person or persons in your life to execute his will. He will. He's done it for me, and he continues to do it for me. But that's first and foremost important. You don't want someone building with someone that you can't not only trust, but they're so negative that their spirit is going to bring the whole thing down to naught. So be careful of who you build with, and also, family, be careful who you share your thoughts with, because as you read, the heathen is documenting you, and if you slip up and say something, it's going to be, they got it and gone. Next point. Document your ideas by writing them down. Now, this all goes into the information exchange, right? Because when you document and write stuff down, transfer to the mind instruction, details, and benefits, you won't forget, and then you won't have to worry about them. You've got them documented. And what that does, and I'm just speaking for me, that frees up my brain to receive more information. And I'm prepared and ready because I've got that information that you've dropped on me, and I'm writing this down however it comes to me. I'm writing it down, I'm documenting it, so that's going to prepare me to receive even more information, right? And it's also getting me, once I have it documented, once I planned out and I've documented, that segues into executing. So if you guys can think of, just take a moment to think, what are the benefits of writing things down? And I've given you a couple. In that for me, my mind's not stuck on those ideas, the same ones or the same pieces of the idea. I can move on to the next set of information block that I'm supposed to receive that's going to help build the plan. So you always want to get in the habit of documenting things. But if you guys could, just in the chat amongst us all, put in some of the benefits that you think it's good to document your ideas and writing things down. Even outside of what I said, because I've got a couple that I didn't give away, but I'm going to take a look and see what the chat has to say about that. Just give me a second to pull that up. Let me find where it is. There we go. Stream. Okay, here we at. Let's see here. Let's minimize that. Okay, there we go. It's the stream right there. Cool. Let's see here. Definitely trying to start something pronto and break out of the plantation. Images Shiloh Khan, and I know that you will. I know and believe that you will. Trust Cafe dropped a nuclear bomb on the chat. Proverbs 15:22, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. Wow. All praises to the Father. See, that's why I rock with Israel. Israel not playing around with this thing. Better leave Israel alone. Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two are better than one because they have good reward for their labor. Look at Israel showing out. I tell you, heathen, nobody better not play with Israel in this book. Check that out. Two hammers right there, back to back. Let's keep going. Sorry I wasn't putting these up, fam. But again, I was looking at the presentation. Proverbs 15, plans fail for lack of counsel. I believe we read that one. Indeed. Let's read this one. Gotta put the precepts up, and hopefully I catch them all. If I don't, fam, they're in the chat, and I will go back and read them, because I do go back and read every message, everything that was said in the chat, for good measure. John 6:38. For I come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. Khan, all praises to Mashiach. Mashiach did the big bro did it. Yes, he did. He came down there and executed and did. He executed the plan of the Father. He did the Father's plan. Father gave him the plan, and he came down and executed. It's the greatest execution of any plan I know of. Point blank. Plan to execute. Exactly. That's where we're going next, my sultry son. We're going. Hopefully your big bro get there. So some of the benefits that I didn't mention, and I'll mention them now. Let me get back to where I should be. Y'all have to forgive me. I need not a better computer, but I probably just need another monitor that's bigger, because this one monitor is rather small. But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna work it out. No matter what it don't matter. We don't get it done. We're gonna work it out. So let's get back to the presentation. We talked about the benefits, but some of the other benefits. Okay, so if you're looking at this from a business or planning or some other perspective, right? Some of the benefits of planning is saving time, money, energy, and resources. But most importantly, above all of that, is that you may find yourself ultimately, when you're doing these things and you're doing the will of the Father, that you really are truly doing the will of the Father. And your spirit will be uplifted because, hey, I'm doing the works that the Father gave me to do. And that's a powerful thing, to know that you're doing the will of the Father. And not only that, but you're doing what he says here. Brother Smitty, here's what I'm giving you, Images Shiloh. Here's what I'm giving you, Yashadi. Here's what I'm giving you, Hal. I want you to go out and execute this plan just like I did your forefathers in the book. That's powerful, you operate and move in that. So I'm going to keep it going. Execute. We're on the last stage, and hopefully I'll be able to bring this home. Definition of execute. see if I can get that up. Okay, we got it. Let's see if we can get it over here. Get that right there. Okay, executed or executing. Well, definitely not that one. But what's that one devil that killed them nine Christians in that church? I can't think of his name, but I can see his face. This is what he should have got, and 8 of his family members that equals 9 because he killed 9 people. To kill someone, especially a punishment for murder or crime. That demon should have got that. But let's move on. To do something that you have planned to do or been told to do. I'll read that one again because that's a heavy of heavies. Number 2, execute. To do something that you have planned to do or been told to do, to carry out. Example, they carefully executed the plan. To do something that you have planned to do or that the Father told you to do. Number 3, to do or perform an action or movement that requires skill. So I'm going to move off of that because now we know what plan means. Or execute, I'm sorry. We got the definition of execute. Okay, so it just threw everything up here. So now we got the whole kit and caboodle. So let's go ahead and look at some precepts on planning. What are my precepts on planning at? Actually, you know what? I'm on the wrong one, fam. My bad. We already covered plan. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Hey, I need to get saved too. Examples on executing. Let's take a look at that. We're going to take a look at some precepts on execute. And this is going to come out the book of Joshua chapter 6. So let's go rock out with the book of Joshua chapter 6. Okay, so now Jericho was straightly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Father said unto Joshua, see, I have given thee unto thy hand Jericho. So the Father gave him Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And so now the Father's given them the plan. Father gave them the plan, and ye shall compass the city, and all ye men of war, and go around about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. Verse 5, and it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. So the Father gave them the plan. Father gave them the plan. And so what did they do? They executed that plan that the Father gave them. Turn this groovy tune down because I don't really care for that cut. So I'm going to turn that down for now. And so they executed the plan. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, ye shall not shout nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you to shout. So Joshua gave them even more parts of the plan. So the ark of the Lord compassed the city going about at once, and then they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And so as we move down, we all know the story. But what happened when they executed? What happened? And so we'll get to verse 20. So the people shouted when the priest blew the trumpets, and it came to pass when the people heard the sound of the trumpet and the people shouted with a great shout, the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. So that's one example of many of the Father giving his people a plan to do something. The brother gave the family instructions on what to do from the Father, and they went and executed, and we see the results on verse 21. And they were utterly destroyed, all that was in the city, both man, woman, young and old, and ox, sheep, and ass, with the edge of the sword. So that's an example, a book example of executing. So we can talk about the benefits and discuss the benefits of executing. But I'm going to move on to keep it moving. We know the benefits of, just real briefly, the benefits of executing is really you believe the plan that you've developed based on doing the Father's will. And so now you're going out and executing that plan that's been giving you. The benefit of that is, one, you're doing the will of the Father. That's the chief benefit. The second benefit, it may be monetary. It may be you possibly getting cheat codes. I don't know, because I don't know what IPs every individuals have. It may be something that you benefit monetarily or business wise, or that you prosper your family, or that you're doing something to ultimately build the kingdom. You may be able to offer a job to other Israelites. I don't know, but those are just some of the ancillary benefits if you're doing the Father's will. So I'm going to move on. And so now that brings us to the end of the presentation, but beware of slothful. So I'm going to quickly give you some things to guard against. And we're going to look at the term slothful, as we do everything. And again, this is to guard your mind and your spirit against this, right? Let's see here. Lazy, indolent, slothful mean to easily arouse an activity. Lazy suggests a disinclination to work or to take trouble. His overly lax managerial style has resulted in a department that is slothful and unproductive. So slothful is another word for being lazy, basically. So let's look at some precepts on slothfulness. Because we always got to go to the book and see what the book says about everything, because it's our go-to in this time, right? So there's 17 precepts on slothful. Romans 12 and 11 is the top one. This is one that's a good one. Not slothful in business, or not lazy in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Father. Judges 18 and 9, and they said, arise, that we may go up against them. Hold on a second. That we may go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good, and are ye still. Be not slothful to go and to enter to possess the land. Proverbs 12 and 24, the hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Proverbs 12 and 27, the slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of the diligent man in pressures. In other words, the slothful man ate his raw. Don't that sound familiar? Proverbs 18 and 9, he also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. So don't be procrastinating and being slothful. And there's others. We don't have to read them all, but there's 17 in the book. I suggest that everybody go in and read those and definitely take those to heart. Okay, so we're going to move on. And so we should have an idea of the benefits of not being slothful. And the real main thing is that not to be lazy, not to procrastinate or do any of those things, because we won't get anything done. And if you want to get something done, you definitely don't want to be slothful. So be on the lookout for fighting against your own flesh, fighting against wanting to watch the NFL when you should be planning or either executing. All right. And so I believe lastly, we're going to consider the ant, right? Because if we give you something that's one part, then we should give you the other side of that, right? So we're going to give you the other side. And the other side is Proverbs 6 and 6. Okay? Proverbs 6 and 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. In other words, ants are pretty hard workers, and they work pretty hard, and they're pretty diligent. If you ever watched ants, And I recommend that as you're going about, this is a tip. Watch nature around you. And I mean everything: trees, plants, animals, ants, as an example. Ants never quit. They keep working, even if it rains. They're out there after the rain stop. They out there getting busy. They never stop. Ant can lift, I don't know how many times their body weight, because they got the cheat code for ants. We need to get our cheat codes back so that we can lift thousands and thousands and thousands upon thousands of pounds and leap from a tall building in a single bound. But consider nature and consider watching nature, because that's important to do, because you'll get some good tips on not only how to work and do things, but nature has a lot of secrets. And without giving too much away, I'll leave that with you. Let's look at another precept concerning the ant, right? And this one's interesting. So, Proverbs 30:25, the ants are people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. So, the book is saying that the ants aren't strong, and yet they prepare their meat in the summer, which means that they're preparing in the summer for some future event, or so that they may have food when wintertime comes. And most animals do that. If you watch animals in nature, like bears do that, they'll eat a lot, and other animals will eat and store food so that they can sleep in the winter or do whatever it is that they do in the winter. But you'll find that a lot of animals are storing up, and that kind of segues into what we should be doing now is we should be operating in a little bit of a duality, right? We should be operating and preparing, and what we call preparing or prepping, in the event that something happens, right? In this wicked construct that we're in. But then at the same time, we should be prepping, planning, and executing the IPs that the Father given us. And there's nothing that says you can't do both. I can prepare and have a food stored in the event that stores don't no longer have food. And the beautiful thing about it is, let's say that I've minimally prepared, which we should all be prepared just in case. There's nothing wrong with that. That's wisdom to do that. But I'm not going to prepare and say, okay, this nation's doomed. It's doomed. Yeah, it is. We do know it's doomed. But at the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare, but I'm also going to move forward in the IPs that I have. Because again, if I do it right, and if I plan it right, and if I execute whatever IP that I've been given and the Father fully furnished me, I should be able to do it in Africa, right? Yeah, and I did name Africa. Anyway, and so I believe I've got closing statements, and then that'll be the end of it. Israel, you have been fully furnished. The Father has given you above and beyond. First of all, He gave you the book. We have the book. First of all, He gave you Mashiach. We got Mashiach. Mashiach petitioning the Father. Y'all get that precept where He say He go to the Father? Somebody drop that in there. Y'all know which one it is. I can look it up right now. I want y'all to drop it in there. You have been fully furnished. And so it's time for Israel to rise. Even in the midst of everything that's happening around us, it's our time, and it's our time to rise. And don't be scared. Don't be frightened, and don't be fearful, because the Father has fully furnished us on every level that we can imagine. We can't even imagine what He got for us. And work is the will of the Father. That's right. The sister sang that song, and it was faith without works is dead. Point blank. So if you're doing His will and you're doing His work, you don't believe that He'll fully furnish you and give you all the information and all the details that you will need to execute that plan that He's given you. So doing the work. And I don't know what that is. I say that all the time. Only you know what that is. And I believe the next show, we're going to talk about the greatness of Israel. That's going to be our next show, actually. We're going to talk about the greatness of Israel, and we're going to look at some of the Israelites that are doing great works. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not know. And some of them may rock the banner of Israel, and they may not. But the important thing is that everybody watches the Israelites that are in the snakes. And we're the trendsetters of the whole earth. No trend gets set without us. No trend has ever been set without us. You look at all the commercials. Whose vernacular are they using? Whose slang are they using? Who they trying to? When you're trying to be cool, who you trying to be like? You're not trying to be like Bob, Tim, and Pete. You're probably trying to be like Yash, Hal, and your big bro. Point blank. So that's it, fam. That's the presentation. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Hopefully I did that right. Yes, I did. So I see some comments in the chat. I'm gonna put a few up because I still got 4 minutes. So I'm gonna put a few of them up. I'm gonna try to scroll up, and please forgive me, fam, that I wasn't putting them up because I was more focused on trying to get the presentation done. 2 Peter 1:19. We have all sort of. There we go. That's the one I want. So you bring all the ones that I want. All the ones I be calling. I know they in the book, and I done read them. I know where to get to them. But yes, indeed, we have the more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well that you take heed as unto a light that shineth in a dark place until the day dawn and the day star rise in your hearts. All praise to the Father. All praise to the Father for Israel. That's right. All praise to the Father. Oh no, who we got here? We got somebody sneaking in the back door. Hey, bro, I just now got back with the stream, yard. I didn't see you there. Otherwise, I would have dropped in. Go ahead and say what's up to the fam. How you doing, man?
Oh, peace and blessing, big bro. How you doing, man?
Hold on a second. I'm doing good. I'm about to turn. Hold on a second, man. Let me turn this music off, man. My goodness. Hey, fam, look, we got a special guest today. Our special guest today is Brother Banya. Brother, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. Thanks, man. Good to see you, big bro. I
Yeah,
was
yeah, it's
just
good. It
listening
is.
in, man. I wanted to just come in and join you and just sit back and listen.
Oh yeah, no, man. How long you been there, man? Because I wasn't even watching the yard.
Oh man, I've been listening the whole time. I just been out and about with my wife getting some things together, so I wasn't able to comment or anything like
Okay,
that.
when you jump on the yard though, how long you been on the yard?
I just got in the yard like maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Okay. So say what's up to the fam, man. Get
Hey,
the fam what they want.
oh man, all praise and honor, glory to the Most High. Shalom and blessings to all my family out there. Israel, according to the flesh, spirit, according to Mashiach. I just want to say shalom and blessings and thank all the brothers and sisters out there for their prayers and thank you for uplifting your brother Banya. Trust the report that the father gave.
Yes,
Just like he gave a good report on our brother Cleo,
that's
he
right.
gave a report for me, man. This stuff is just is something else. I'm not really used to the psychological aspects of it, but I got a strong mind, so I've been dealing with it. I'm doing much better though. I'm really ready for things to just really return back to normal as far as me being able to be on more consistently and really put forth a lot of the work that I've been working on, and like the brother Hal Goodwin and information he's been passing along and all the efforts and all the work that brother's been helping me put into this presentation. So I'm really excited about getting that done and putting it forth. But all that goes with with the lesson of the day, faith without works is dead, you know. Pray to the Father, make the plan, execute the plan. Pray like it depended on the Father and work like it depended on you, you know. So You know, that's all I got to say. But I would just like to, just greet everybody out there and to just say shalom and blessings to all my brothers and sisters. And great show, big bro, as always.
Hey man, all praises to the Father, man. All praises is due him because he's the one that put that spirit in us to want to desire to do his will. And everybody in the chat should definitely want to be doing the Father's will. And if you're doing the Father's will, you're gonna have faith. And if you got faith, you're gonna be doing his works, right?
Amen.
That's book right there. That ain't something I made up, but it's a good thing we got Brother E on. Brother E been holding it down with the with a lot of the shows and whatnot that he's been pushing. I do stuff sparingly, but it's good to see. Is I'm sure the family is happy to see you. We got somebody saying shalom to you. It's definitely good. A lot of the family is greeting you. I don't know if you watching the chat, but the
Oh
family
yeah.
is
See,
happy to see
shalom.
you, man. They're like, oh.
Thanks.
Well, the brother been at where he's MIA.
Shalom and blessings, family. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm
So
always watching, man. I'm too hard headed, even when I should be getting rest, man. I'm always up listening to brother E and listening to my big brother Cleo, and I heard that show you and the brother Kadar did yesterday. That was awesome. You know, I had a little back and forth with my sister Von Bull. We tag teaming in there.
I
You
saw
know,
that. I saw
yeah.
that, and you know what I would say to the both of y'all, right? Both of y'all need to get saved, because neither one of y'all saved. Born Bull knows she ain't saved. And Bonnie, I know you not saved.
hmm You know, the zigzag man can't do nothing for me, man. You know what I mean? He had offered a few rolling papers when I was into that stuff. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? But the zigzag man can't do nothing for Israel,
Right.
man. You
That's right.
know.
He never could, and that's why
hmm
our people need to come out of that hypno trance. I'm putting together a something that I'm gonna do on uh man, white Christianity, man. Brother, some of the stuff I'm hearing and some of the videos I got lined up, oh my. That's all I'm gonna tell you. When the family, and I'm talking about the family in the chat, when the family hears some of the stuff that come out of these people's mouth and some of the stuff that they believe, that's gonna line up exactly what this nation going away backwards, which we knew that they was never going forward anyway. But my goodness, these people are like, ooh. I mean, I heard this one dude. I'm gonna get this one away. This one heathen said, "There's more than one Christianities."
Hmm. There is. There's about 45,000 different ones.
Right? But I'm
45,000
like,
different
okay,
versions.
this dude is openly admitting this. I'm like,
hmm
man, this is fantastic. In the context that he was saying it, it was like his religion was under attack. And he says, well, you can't. He was like paraphrasing, you can't really say that because there's more than one Christianity. And I'm like, wow, we finally got somebody on record to admit it. Yeah, there is more than one Christianity. Y'all got about what you say, 45,000 flavors of them?
45,000 different flavors. And none of them sweet. None of them taste good. They look good on the surface, but they taste like crap, man, for the true Israelites.
It's poison.
It's not my taste.
It's poison, bro. You know that's poison. You
Indeed,
straight
man.
know that's poison. Jason Phillip, because Salah, brother, thank you for the work you putting in. We see you. Yeah, the brothers, man, I can't give nothing away, but I will say this. Um, the lesson that the brother has been working on and the other brothers been working on, all of us contributing, um, Christianity's in trouble.
hmm
Christianity is in real serious. If you got any Christian family out there or anybody that still believe that they're Christian, especially if they're Israelite, there shouldn't be no Israelite whose family went through the killing fields of transatlantics still talking about you're a Christian. because there's no such thing as Christianity. But what this brother done put together is this is on another plane, because this totally deconstruct the whole thought of somebody even being a Christian. Because quite frankly, can anybody in the chat find the word Christianity or the phraseology or even the religion Christianity in the book?
Mm. No, I want to say shalom and blessing to the brother Darrell Williams also. But I know you mentioned this earlier, man. But man, I can't say it enough that the information that the brother Hal passed on is like, I had that train of thought to bring that, and when I gave the brother the task to search that out, he went above and beyond what I could even imagine that what he was going to pull out, you know, because it's one of the essential parts to show the progression of what we're talking about and bringing it forth into today. And the brother did an excellent uh, amount of research and definitely laid it all out the way the I really I just hats off to the brother, and and likewise to you brothers, Eric, and you with the recordings, all of these things and the dynamics when it's all pulled together, man. It's definitely gonna be worth the wait. And just like all other presentations, we kind of it's not really a good reputation, but we do have a reputation for really taking our time to bring forth the information. But when we do bring it, it's definitely gonna be well worth the wait. We don't half it out here, man. When we decide to bring some information and we decide to drop it, people are gonna have to sit up and take notice. And this is definitely gonna be one for the ages, you know.
Man, all I could say is, and I bigged up my brother Hal earlier, but I mean, when I first saw the information, I read it and see this right here, and I've been saying that um, Salt of Earth Productions is actually a use case, fam, and this is a classic example of brothers coming together, planning, praying, executing, and the level of professionalism, because when we do stuff, we doing it like we doing it to the Father. But what we doing is we have to do above and beyond, because our work have to be able to stand up. It's got to be, when you look at it, it's got to be like, man, this is the dopest work I've seen on this particular topic. Right now on the whole earth, you can't on the whole earth find nobody that's brought the 400-year like Salt of the Earth have. If you can, point me to them.
Mm.
And that's just brothers coming together, talking about, hey, we're gonna do this. This is the Father's will that we put this information out. But you can't find nobody on the earth that rocked the 400 years out like we did. And I stand on that. The 400-year documentary, and we still got one more piece to do on it, but the 400-year documentary stands alone. And when you talk about Israelite documentaries, you got to put that up there with them. I must say that. And yeah, I'm tooting our own horn, because go look at the plagues, and then look at when it was done and say, oh man, what did the Father give them?
Mm.
Where did they get that information from? Who they dealing with? Go look at the plagues if you don't believe it's so.
You know what? Shout out to all the brothers and sisters that's been putting out work on that too. Like the brothers from Tell Ministry, Dante Forson, the brother Pastor Kelly, we woke the brother Benai Ben Israel. All the brothers out there putting out the information. Big ups to them. But you know what I noticed is there's a diminishing of videos that's been going against it. Like before, you would see these videos pop up every now and then, that the 400-year prophecy lie and the false prophet, 400-year false prophecy. You don't see too many of those anymore. Even if you type them in and try to look them up specifically to what they said, these videos are disappearing on there because people happen to go back to the drawing board. You had a lot of different things just dropped in 2019, and people didn't want to believe it. But then you got also teachings like ours out there that's really breaking down the understanding and really clearing up this misnomer that we said that we was all supposed to be out of here after 400 years. And it's not, when you read the scripture says judgment, then we leave, and if you can see the things happening today, man, it's nothing but judgment. And I'll say this to Israel: if you got sick and the Most High brought you through it, realize that this sickness is a precursor to what's going to come. You understand what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters? Get yourself right with the Most High. Get yourself right with Him. Don't play around with the Most High, because He is not playing with this place. He's really ready to bring something on this people that nobody's going to be able to stand. All right. So if you thought this was something, what the Most High is going to bring next is going to drop people where they stand at. You understand? So give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. If He gave you it and you got through it, because that means He had stronger plans for you, that He gave it to you so that you're going to get through the next thing that He's going to hit. All right. A dog should not move his tongue against Israel. All right. Egypt is going down. So you brothers and sisters, make sure you get right with the Most High. Don't play around with Him. Don't play around. Don't wait until you sick. Don't wait until you in a situation. Don't try to be the thief on the cross and try to get out the last minute. Make sure you right today, right now. All right? Because the Most High is not playing with this place. And anything linked up to this place and linked to the mindset of this place is going down. All right? That's all I want to say though.
Hey man, that's awesome and timely though. And that's exactly what I've been saying to the family, and that he's definitely not paying. He's moving differently. He's moving, and you can see how he's moving. And one of the things that I'm loving is that every time the heathen says no, or they enact the law, or they say something, or something happened to our people, then you see more calamities happening. That's a beautiful thing. Keep your hands and your mouth off Israel. Point blank, period. Hey, so bro, we going over two. We at the close to 2:15. You could say the last words, brother, and take us home, man. I won't even say nothing after that. You can go ahead and take us home.
Yeah, that thing I can say is all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. May He be praised in all things. His will be done forever and ever.
Come on, fam. And guess what, fam? This has been another Salt of the Earth Productions.